Hiya, hope you're well. I'm gonna do a video. We did a Q&A last week, and I just wanted to share a little bit of info with you. Um, Laurie asked a question of where did all the different humans come from, different, all the different races to the characteristics. Where does it, why are we different? Where did it all come from? And when I looked in, I saw that the genetics of us have been hugely interfered by ETs. And that the reason we all look so different, race to race to race to race, is because of ET interference. And it's just basically the natives that haven't been interfered, but all the rest had. But the biggest interference was the white man, and the white man was created. The biggest slave race was the white man, and they were created to enslave other races, and it was just like, oh my god! But it makes so much sense, and if you look at the history of Earth. Now, the genetics, what I saw after is that our genetics have still been interfered with through the injections, immunizations that we take and that we give our children. They interfere with the genetics of us, and the direct link to the ADHD, all these problems that we have, Asperger's, ADHD, all these sort of things. These things wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the interference of the genetics that start when we come in, and obviously these travel down. The genetics, it travels down the line. So once the interference has happened, it will go from generation to generation. However, what also changes our genetics is us. Our heart consciousness. Actually, the biggest power is our heart consciousness. Our heart consciousness, even though we have a heart in our chest, the heart consciousness is the left side of the brain. Actually, if it wasn't for the left side of the brain, we wouldn't have a heart. Actually, everything that goes on in the brain goes on within our bodies, gets projected in our bodies. So the left side of the brain is the connection to who we are, our higher selves, our soul, why we're here, our past lives, our gifts, our wisdom. We're all very beautiful, wise individuals. And what I find is that everyone has come to connect the left and the right brain. In fact, the planet you are on is a planet of enlightenment. So all beings that come here have come to enlighten themselves, and only when one is enlightened is through the full connection between the left and the right brain. When your right brain fully connects to the heart, and there's millions of connections, you not only connect yourself to yourself, but you're connecting yourself to the planet, you're connecting yourself fully to the universe. So the biggest threat that has been is us fully connecting to ourselves and knowing who we are, and then the dark forces have brought in trauma to disconnect us, so we don't want to be in our bodies. They've brought in religion, so it gets us to go outside of ourselves. They've brought loads of things, really bad perceptions of male energy and female energy, and these kind of really trauma. It really screws up our perceptions and try to create a different reality. So that's been our struggle, and lots of people, when we're up there and we're like, right, we're coming to planet Earth, we know why we're coming to connect completely up to ourselves. And this is why understanding our emotions is so important, because that's our biggest power. Because understanding our emotions, our mental side has to understand our emotions, our masculine side has to understand our emotions, to understand who we are and to manifest the reality that we want. And we can't just ignore our emotions. Our emotions are everything. And the mental side, this thing where people say, I'm an empath, and they believe it's because of their heart, but actually it's the mental side. The most sensitive energy there is our masculine energy, is men. And I had this, my daughter had a party. She had this party and it was 50-50. So 50 ratio 50 was girls that came and the other section was boys. And they were on this long table. They'd just been bouncing around and having fun. And then they came and they had their dinner. And all the girls sat on one half of the table and all the boys on the other half of the table. And I note the difference was amazing, because all the girls were like these quite loud, boisterous little girls, you know, having fun, very confident. And all the boys were very soft and spoken and gentle and really and if I look at my boy and when he was, especially when he was little, smaller, very sensitive, and Mia is my daughter is sensitive, but in a different way. And anyway, now I'm realizing the reason that is because our male energy has to be sensitive, because the male energy has to be sensitive enough to read the emotional part. Therefore, the right brain has to read the female brain, and the female gives out emotions, and the male side has to decode it. Therefore, the sensitivity that you feel, if you feel that you're an empath, is actually coming from the right side of your brain, because you pick up the emotions from the right side of the brain. So it's the male energy. So I suspect, like all this programming, and we get, well, males, they don't. Actually, I suspect that men are way more sensitive than women. If a man is standing in their masculine and a woman standing in the feminine, men are way more sensitive to emotions and what's going on around them. Anyway, just some interesting. Anyway, also, I love learning about consciousness. It's so fascinating. I've got a Q&A next week. This Q&A I'm doing a slightly different. I'm going to do a session all about the questions that are going to be asked is all about sexuality. So sexuality is an energy that runs through our female energy. It is an energy that is being traumatized so much through religion, through trauma, through different programming, and they're still doing it through the trans and all that agenda that's going on. And yeah, so I'm going to ask questions about that, and so yeah, that's next week. You can join us if you wish. I'll put a link up if you would like to join, yeah, so anyway, have a lovely weekend, everybody. Thank you for watching, and if you want to subscribe or share, please do, and I'll see you next time. Okay, you take care. Bye.